Early this afternoon, the governor's office released the estimated costs of the base salary adjustments as proposed in the Government of Guam Competitive Wage Act of 2014.
The numbers were derived from an estimated in the slotting process, but that is a moving target. We will have the actual numbers once the slotting is done.
The figures are based on the pro rata of a 50% implementation of the pay plan, showing a total estimate of $7.4 million. The governor's office today says it had a very good reason for not producing the information on demand, as it was simply an estimate per agency, and because not all component units were submitted on time. The agency breakdown was simply what lawmakers had requested for in the past 2 weeks, and today DOA Director Benita Maglonia says she didn't give that information because of all the documentation that goes into the process. She says DOA's HR staff, however, will be submitting 30,000 pieces of documents to show senators just how they got the numbers.
The discussion could have taken a different turn, and they would because they wanted individual slotting, and that's not their role, and that's the HR role. And if we had provided those information, they would be complaining about why did employee A get this slot? Why did employee B get a different slotting? And we were trying to prevent that.
She continues to raise criticism over Bill 268, saying it would cost more, and changes the proposal to a full implementation.
The full implementation would have cost $15 million based on the time period from February to September. And that's precisely how deficits are created.
Speaker Judy Wampat yesterday said without all the information as requested, lawmakers chose to act in the best interest of the people. Maglonia says senators shouldn't have been confused over the governor's plan.
They had an estimate when they passed Bill 68. They had an allocation for each agency.
She says instead lawmakers were keen on getting the breakdown of the slotting process, which is a more complicated process and something DOA couldn't just provide offhand. She adds the plan actually contains similar figures to the 2010 plan, with some changes to include the senator's salary increases. Maglonia says while that wasn't in the Hay study, it was included for equity purposes. She ultimately calls Bill 268 an error.
Maybe if they had spent a little bit more time putting it together and discussing it, instead of rushing to pass it on Saturday, they would have found out that there's some errors in there.
Maglonia says once the full breakdown is submitted to lawmakers, it will be up to them to decipher the information and do what they please. She adds legislation actually wasn't necessary to implement the governor's plan, and should the governor veto Bill 268, his proposal will go into effect February 14. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.